Okay, let's look at how to handle bearish market because we are in a bearish market for quite some time. It's been since November we've been in a bearish market, and that if you continue to use the same tactics and strategies and setups that you use during a regular market, and then what happens is that you will find that your success rate will go down significantly, and then you can have a series of losses. So it requires a different kind of a technique for managing bearish market. I've been in this market for many years, and I've seen some really big down markets, three of them. One which happened in 98, 99 to 2002, one in 2008, and the one which happened just when COVID started. And in between, there have been many smaller bearish market where the market corrects anywhere between 8 to 20% or 20% plus. Now, whenever there is a bearish phase in the market, one of the significant like kind of characteristic of that bearish phase is that it tends to have a lot more volatile action in terms of there can be 3 4 days down, and then there'll be a rally of a couple of days. Then that rally is followed by again some selling. Sometimes the selling will be only for 2 days, then there is a bounce. And this kind of volatility makes trading difficult for some people who are reliant on trading a longer term kind of a swings. But if you are trading short term swings, it can be a very good opportunity for making profits. But before you really think about it, many people are long only traders, or many traders are long only traders, so they don't even know what to do in a bearish market. So you have to make a strategic decision whether you want to be a long only traders, and then if you're a long only traders, then your best strategy is to stay out of this particular market. And if you are not a long only trader, and if you want to make money in all market conditions, then you have to develop setups. Now, fortunately for me, because I trade a kind of a setup called momentum burst. Momentum burst works on any time frame. It works even during the bearish market. And if you can see now, you will see that during this particular time frame, and let me see you my TC2000, there have been a bunch of stocks which have gone down a lot, right? And then they all also show up in a momentum burst scan, which is like either a 4% or a dollar breakout scan. And then they move in the direction of the momentum burst. So bearish momentum burst work very well. Bearish momentum work in a bearish market, like basically they may not work as good in a bullish market, but they work very well. So that's one of the strategies which works very well, which is just like a breakdown, 4% breakdown or a dollar breakdown, and some very nice examples of like in a recent breakdowns. You can see Inari, Graham, which is a very good breakdown here, like it breaks down, or here it breaks down. And in just a couple of days, it makes 31% move. That's the advantage of bearish market, that you can make faster money because the moves happen much faster. Expedia missed earnings. After it missed earnings in 2 days, it's down so much, like or 3 days, 4 days, and it is down 21%. So during the bull market, if a company misses earnings, it might go down, and if it gaps down, it will typically, there'll be a lot of people who will be buying the gap down, and it will like recover. But when the market is bearish, breakdowns after earnings, they just continue to go down. You have seen many stocks during this earnings season which missed earnings, and they just went down, and they didn't even pause. Otherwise, in a bullish market, because there is an overall tendency to keep on buying anything, what happens is that if a company misses earnings, it gaps down, but like buyers step in, and if you try and short it immediately, it's not going to work. It will have a counter trend rally, and after many weeks or months, it will break down again. That is not the nature of moves during the bearish market, and you would see examples of that in the case of Netflix, where like the earnings miss, and after the earnings miss, it straight went down, right? Little bit of rally, and again last 2 days it is down, right? So if you see, there are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities to make money in this bearish market, right? But the opportunities in a bearish market come in like 3 to 4 5 days kind of bunched together kind of a thing. You will see there can be opportunities to go long also, because if you see the market, this particular period, there was a big bounce, and it was a 2 weeks kind of a period, or 2 or 3 weeks kind of a period, where a lot of longs also work. So if your strategy or if your approach is long only, then yes, the strategy is then to sit out and like not do anything and just wait for a better time. But if your strategy is to make money in all market conditions, then one of the setups which work very well is a momentum burst. And in momentum burst in a bearish market, because the momentum in the overall market is bearish, you will see that bearish momentum work very well in a bearish market. Right? So you can use that setup during this particular time period. One of the trick to making it work better is either to find a sector which is breaking down, because then as you know, technology stocks are very weak in this market. So you will see that technology stocks are breaking down one after the other, and they continue to go down. So if you go through these stocks which are like technology or some of the medical devices companies, or any stock company which is like a growth company, those are not doing well, right? So if you can focus on those kind of stocks, then you get a very good purchase for your shorting. But at the same time, when the market has a counter trend rally, like here there was a counter trend rally, and during this particular time period, you would see that many stocks made big moves. Like say, if you look at Nvidia during that time, Nvidia made a move, a momentum burst, and it made 25-26% in just a couple of days. Tesla was another one, right? And straight for almost a month, it went up around 40%. So you have to do a combination. You have to be looking for these counter trend rallies, tradable rallies, and many bearish moves have like tradable rallies. Now this is possible if your time frame of trading is a couple of days or 3 to 5 days, or you're looking at only like a small slice of a trend move. If you are an investor, obviously staying away from a bullish market or bearish market is the best strategy for those people. Unfortunately, what happens is that many people don't realize that there is a bearish market, and they continue to buy some of the pullback kind of setups. Now, pullback kind of setups work very well in a bullish market, because continuous set of money is coming into the market, while in a bearish market, money is not coming in, right? So your best bet is to try and have a situational awareness about what is going to happen for next couple of days, 3 4, and then play tactically either a long or short side in a bearish market. If the market becomes extremely oversold in the short term, then you will see that there will be a bounce, and then when the bounce fails is when shorts work. So you will see that like, and just using a straight momentum burst kind of approach works very well, where if you see this is a 4% breakdown, and from there the stock is down 28%. And so many of these, like, because this is a bearish market, you can see this is like a 4% breakdown here, like this is a signal, and the stock went down, right, 24% in just one day. So it's confluent, and it means like there is no shortage of setups on the short side to look at in the last 10 days at least, or last like in a couple of weeks. And that way you can profit a lot from the bearish side if you have a setup. Now if you don't have a setup, you'll need to work on developing a setup to play in the bearish market. My strategy is to play do all weather trading. So I will look at a long setup, I'll look at a short setup every day, and if I find a short setup, I'll take a short setup. If I find a long setup, I'll take a long setup. And especially when the market is bearish and my situational awareness is bearish, I try and short aggressively, and I'm as aggressive shorting as I am aggressive on the long side. For the last couple of weeks, I've been very, very aggressive. The only long trade which I did in the last couple of days was this UVXY, which is a counter trend kind of which is the VIX, this thing, right? VIX ETF. That was the only long trade. Everything which I did was short, right? So there is the money to be made, a lot of money to be made in the short side for those who are active traders. But you need to develop a setup for that, and one of the setups which works very well is momentum burst in bearish market. So if you want to make money in the bearish market, you should like change your mindset. A lot of people have a mindset though they are just going to trade in a bullish market, or they're just going to go long. If you are comfortable going short, then in fact there is more money in the short side, because stocks which have gone up a lot, when they start breaking down, there's a continuous amount of disappointment, and they continue to go down for a long period of time. So there is opportunity to make money in bearish market for those who want to make money.